Well, hey crafty friends, and happy Monday to you. If you're watching this live, in this video tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can use some of these pretty inexpensive wood rounds, or any other shape for that matter, that you can find all over the place. This one came from DollarTree. It was a little pricey. It was $5. This one I think came from Hobby Lobby. I can't remember. You can get big ones that I'll show you in a minute from Home Depot for $8. So I'm going to show you how you can use that, plus a bunch of different things that we're going to talk about to create elevated risers to use if you're entertaining. You could put a dish on top of it, and then you have some different heights. It could be in your on your bookshelves with a candle and some doodads with it. There's tons of different things that you can do, but I'm going to show you how you can make them yourself, and we're going to focus mostly on the legs and feet. Okay, as you are hopping on, let me know where you're watching from. I love to know that I'm not just standing in my craft room talking to my cell phone. If you have questions, don't hesitate to ask. Feel free to sprinkle, all that good stuff. Okay, so let's jump right in. Okay, so I don't know if you guys remember a few weeks ago when I was so excited because I found these bags of these old, they're like wagon wheel things, and you can get these. I'm looking to see if I have one in the wood department at Hobby Lobby, and they're kind of expensive, and I just got so fortunate, and this had a bunch more in it too, and I found these at Goodwill for like $3 a bag. So I grabbed them, of course. So I don't know if you remember that, but I want to show you what I've done here, and then we will decorate it, but we're going to be building another one too. Okay, so, and I think this is pretty cute from the top, and if you look at it from the side, these are just these little round wheels stacked up, 2 of the big ones and 2 of the little ones, and then one of those little felt table protectors that look like these, which you can grab these at Dollar Tree in case you didn't know that, because they're kind of expensive if you're going to get them at a at like Lowe's or Home Depot. So so I built this a few days ago in preparation for today. I haven't painted the underneath of it yet, but I will, because I can see how you could see it depending on where you're displaying it. I used a combination of 2 things when I was putting this together, and we'll be using the same combination today. I used mostly E6000 glue, which is great, but the downside to this is that it takes a while to dry. So I did a few little dabs of hot glue to get it to stay in place along with the E6000, and this is what I got, and I'm kind of thinking that I'm going to leave the little legs natural. Okay, so this was a round just like this. It's slightly bigger. I painted it with 2 coats of this Waverly white chalk acrylic no prep paint from Walmart, and then I sanded it, the top of it good, and then I just a few minutes ago took it outside and gave the top of it 2 coats of clear matte sealer spray. Why? Well, wood, we're going to be using some stencils, and then I'm going to show you a whole bunch of legs, tons of legs ideas, so stay with me. But when you're going to stencil on wood, it can have a tendency to grab your medium and pull it down into the pores and then spread it out, and it can create like a real fuzzy looking transfer. So your stenciled piece of wood doesn't look like you did a very good job. But if you close down those pores so that they can't suck it in and spread it out, then you tend to get a little better result. And this is the main thing that I use. You have to spray this outside. It's just a clear matte sealer spray. This is Rust-Oleum brand. I get this at Walmart, but you can use any kind of clear matte sealer spray, or Alternatively, you could use, I forgot to get this out, you could use a clear wax, like this Waverly brand, okay? I opted to spray for this. And so let me show you this, and then we're gonna build this, okay? And it's gonna be really fun. All right, so what I love in this idea of a elevated riser is the idea that there's gonna be an all-over pattern on the top. And Magnolia Design Company has so many awesome ones to choose from. These are just a few that I had handy to pull out. So I wanna show you these. We'll pick one, I'll show you how to do it, and we'll let that dry and we'll start working on that other piece. Okay, this is called Lace Berries, and it is awesome. This is called Diamond Pattern, and I built something that looked like a Mackenzie Child elevated food riser or table riser about 6 months ago using this one. This one I think is called Buffalo Check. These are all great. This one is called Damask. This, you might not think that this would be the kind of stencil that you would use, but I think it would look great. This is called Honeycomb Pattern. And the thing is, stay with me because we're gonna do the legs on this one in just a second. The thing about these all over patterns is that most of them are not specific to a season. So depending on what color you do and what you put it on, you can make it be anything. So in my opinion, the all over pattern stencils are the most versatile and they're the best investment in your crafting supply closet. So that's called Honeycomb. This one is a little bit seasonal, but it's cute. It's called Lemon Pattern. This is a brand new one that I haven't used yet. You might use this today, I'm not sure. It is called Subway Tile Pattern. This is a beautiful new one, or newish. It's called Butterfly Pattern. This one is really cute. I just used it on something. What was it? I can't remember. My craft room's covered in crafts. But this is called Retro Flower. And it's really cute. This is my all-time favorite in the whole world. Seriously, this is my newer one. This is called Victorian Pattern. My old one is well over 2 years. I've used it 60 or 70 times and it still works. It just looks terrible. So I decided to get a new one. Oh, this is a pretty newish one. This is called Daisy Pattern. And then, of course, don't forget Mandela Lace. And there's a bunch of other stencils that you could use. I think let's use this new one on here. And then I'm gonna show you some ideas, including, what are these called? These little, they're like little people. You could use these to make legs too. So, first thing I'm gonna do is open my brand new stencil. You can save this plastic if you want or not to store your stencil back in. Don't throw away the backing. Don't throw this part away, okay? And what I like to do is I like to use a Sharpie marker to label the back of this, and I'm just gonna write Subway. So I know which side of the carrier sheet to put my stencil back on because it's important. You need to be putting it back on the right side, which is the glossy side, but sometimes that's hard to differentiate which is glossy and which is not glossy. So that's the first thing I'm gonna do. And because this is brand spanking new, I mean, I just pulled it out of the thing, we're gonna fuzz it a couple times. So what is fuzzing? Well, fuzzing is where you're putting a little bit of fuzz or of fiber on the back of your stencils because the green ones are super duper sticky. And in the beginning with them, if you don't fuzz and you're working on something like metal or wood or paper, it can pull up some of your paint or it can stretch the stencil, and we don't want to do that. So you can fuzz on any low lint kind of a towel. I often fuzz on my jeans or on a pair of khakis. And I'm going to be careful because, like I said, this is brand new. I don't want it to get folded over on itself. So this green thing I'm using right here is called a tacky towel. And I'm just going to do this a couple of times. Oh no. Okay, this sometimes happens. You just have to pull it apart gently. Especially when they're brand new. They have this tendency to want to fold over on themselves. Okay, we survived that. Crisis averted. There are some all over patterns that are smaller as well. There's some great polka dots, I love that. Some great ticking stripes. But I was choosing something big because we're gonna be stenciling the top of this wood tray. And it's just easier if you can do it all in one fell swoop. So, what projects are you guys working on lately? We have done a huge variety of things over the last few weeks, and I hope that you are enjoying that, because I never want you to get bored and think that we do the same thing over and over. I try to really mix it up as best I can. Okay, I'm going to say that is sufficient, and I'm going to pull this over here, and it really does not matter where I lay it down. I'm going to be pressing all of the air bubbles out of it. Ooh, I forgot to get water. I'm going to have to pop out for 2 seconds and grab that so that I can throw my stencil in a bath of water. Hang on, it's right here. Okay, this is what I'm talking about right here. Let me show you. This is my yucky tub of water. And what I typically do is I'll throw my stencils face down in that after I have used them until I can get out to the kitchen. You've been stenciling a lot, making flowers and etching. Oh, awesome. I've been making a lot of flowers lately. Okay, I think this is on here pretty good. And what I wanted to tell you next is that there's so many different colors of chalk paste. That's what you want for this. This is wood, you want chalk paste. I'm leaning towards using the gray, but there's black. I mean, if you wanted, you could use purple, you could use teal, you could use whatever color would work in your decor. And Magnolia has a ton of different colors. So let me just, I'm going to give my chalk paste a quick little squirt of distilled water. Getting down to the very bottom of my tub. Let's try that. And I'm using a small cut apart squeegee. We're just going to go around the edge. I do want this to go all the way out to the edge. Of course, I have way too much chalk paste. Let's put some of this back. We don't want to waste any of that goodness. Or I don't want to. Okay, and And I'm going to take the big globs off. I'm not going to overwork this. I'm not going to keep going over and over and over. I'm just going to squeegee off the little bits where it's super thick. And then we're going to hope for the best. Okay, and I need to get this off of my hand before I touch it because I don't want to get it all over everything else. Okay, so this is what it looks like. And you want to pull your stencils straight back. This probably could have used a little bit more fuzzing. Yes, it definitely could have used more fuzzing. But next time it'll be perfect. And the design looks great. There's absolutely nothing wrong with the design. Okay, next up I'm going to show you, oops, and I've smudged it with my finger. I'm going to show you legs, and I have some fun ideas for legs. Oh gosh. Yes, this definitely needed more fuzzing. So there you go. You're learning a lesson of what not to do. Don't neglect your fuzzing before you use a stencil for the first time. I'm going to throw this in my little tub of water over here. Push it under. Make sure it's not folded over on itself anywhere. And let's clean up this mess right here. But look how great it is. Okay, so let's set this right here. I have some other ones I want to show you in just a second. That stencil was giving me a run for my money, that's for sure. I'm having one of those days where I'm feeling like I'm 90% prepared for anything, and I usually am 120% prepared for everything. So anyways, okay, so let's talk about legs. There's so many options. These right here are actual legs that you can purchase somewhere like Home Depot or Lowe's. And they have the little screw, so you would drill a hole in the underneath of your project and twist this on. So these are one option. They are definitely more expensive. This one is slightly different and it has a sharp point on it. So that's one thing. Another thing that you can do are you can find these, they're called ball knobs. I think they're meant to be knobs for like a dresser or something. They come in different sizes. They're round. I have one over here that I use these on, and they have a flat spot. And I get all my wood pile stuff, that's the name of the brand, at Hobby Lobby when it's on sale. Here's a tray that I did quite a while ago. This is just one of those DollarTree, I think, wood panels turned upside down and stained. And I stained the wood knobs as well. And then I used that Mandela lace stencil. And look how cute that is. So you could use something like that, those round knobs. That's one option. Another option is something that's really not designed to be a leg, but these are candle cups. And they are a wood pile item. These were $4.99, but I'm sure I didn't buy them full price. I'm sure I bought them on sale. They do this weird thing where they give you 5 pieces. I'm like, I don't want to buy 5 pieces. I want to buy either 4 or 8, but that's what they do. So that's an option. These are candle cups. Here's another thing that's kind of unusual. Also, Woodpile brand from Hobby Lobby. These are called ball knobs. So you can do something like that. And then this is also Woodpile. And these are, they're called Man. They're like those little, you can turn these into Mary, Jesus, and Joseph ornaments during Christmas time. You can use them for a lot of things, but you can turn it upside down. This is what we're going to use today, and create some adorable legs. And then, of course, there are your little wheels in a lot of different sizes. And you can buy the wheels at Hobby Lobby in the Woodpile section, which is, in my store, it's in the back of the store. And it's with all the other wood items, and it's not too far away from the scrapbooking stuff and not too far away from like the jewelry and the t-shirts. Okay, so what I wanted to point out here real quick is that you can also stack. So I could add this to this if I wanted my piece to be taller. Or I could even do one right here. Or I could do two of these together on the bottom. So you can kind of build the height that you want. Now, I do recommend that you use a combination of a really sturdy glue. Whoops. Like this. This is E6000. You can use a little dab of hot glue to hold it in place right away, but you want to use something like this. Okay, with this little cup holder thing, this one is too small, and this one I feel like is too big. But you could combine it with something else, or you could even do two of them together. Let's find these. Like you could do something like this. Oops. And then put your piece on top. So there's so many options. The leg part of your trays can get expensive. So just always be on the lookout for alternatives. And you absolutely never know when you're gonna find something at a craft store on a huge sale like this. I got this, I don't even know where. But it was 18 pieces of those wheels, and I got it for $3.47 on clearance. So just always be on the lookout for things that you could use for legs. And let's find these little men, because that's what we're gonna use for this tray. I think when she had her children, decided to stay home. Now a super organized crafter. Oh, you're so sweet, Karen. Okay, so here's my story. I got an undergraduate degree in French. What do you do with that? Well, I had worked several summers at my uncle's law firm, and I liked it. And so I decided to go to law school. So then when I graduated as a lawyer, I had several different jobs. My last job was working as a defense attorney in a criminal court. And then I had a baby and everything changed. My whole paradigm of what was important, what I wanted. And we for sure had to cut way back. And you know, you can't just go from a 2-income couple to a 1-income with a baby, you know, and do all the same stuff. So anyways, we decided, my husband and I, to have me be at home with my kids. And then after that, I never went back to practicing law. I think what I would like about practicing law, and what I did like then, was the being in court and presenting cases. What I would not like is the fact, when I was a practicing lawyer, that I worked all the time. Okay, so we're gonna use these little, like, people. And we're going to use a combination of E6000 and this. And so after I had my baby and we decided for me to stay home, then a few years into that, I did my first direct selling company, which was Creative Memories, and it was awesome. Oh my gosh, I loved it. I taught people for 4 or 5 years how to safely preserve their cherished family memories in scrapbooks that don't have all these chemicals that destroy your pictures. It was great. I loved the teaching thing. And then I did a few other businesses, and I don't know, 4 years ago, I started this crafting Facebook page. There you go. That's my whole story. And I have several different companies that I represent. My favorite is Magnolia Design Company, for sure, 100%. So that's how I got here from having a lawyer degree. And I don't know who asked that question. I don't know if you guys wanted to hear that whole long story or not. But, okay, so I'm going to put some of this E6000 around the outside, and then I'm going to do a dab of low temperature hot glue in the center. And what that will do is that will fix it on here quickly, because the E6000 takes a while to dry. And I definitely used too much E6000. Okay, so let's do it again. Don't need nearly as much. And I'm just eyeballing where to put these on. There's no, you want to have them roughly the same distance out from the edge. They don't have to be perfectly spaced. I'm not the type to worry about that kind of thing. So I'm going to put a little ring, and I'll hold this up, of E6000. Can you see that? And then in the center, I'm going to do a little blob of hot glue. Pushing it down. The hot glue holds it quickly. Set the closed caption up. You know what? Okay, so let me answer this question. One of my viewers was asking about closed captioning. That is a Facebook thing. I have it turned on. It only works, for me anyways, after the fact, because they can't transcribe my words as I'm talking. So when I do a replay or you watch something after it was live, it should have closed captioning on it. Facebook has some kind of weird things happening lately. They're changing things around, and so I have it set up for closed captioning to be on every video, but it isn't always, and I don't have any control over that, so I'm sorry. But it isn't live, so if you're watching this and there's a red dot on the top, you're on Facebook, then you're watching live, and closed captioning is not on live videos. It's only after they have been recorded that Facebook goes and puts it on. Okay, so here are my legs, and because I used hot glue, otherwise I couldn't even touch this for like 8 hours because the E6000 takes a while to dry. So what I will do now is off camera I will paint this, and then I'll probably come back and do another live, maybe tomorrow, where we stencil this. What I'm wanting is for these two to coordinate. So I'll probably paint it white, leave the legs unstained, and do something like this, or maybe a different stencil, but in gray to match this one. This stencil right here is called Subway Tile, and I use the gray chalk paste from Magnolia to do that. So isn't that cool? Okay, let me show you this other tray that I got out, and I have about 100 more. This is one of the rounds that I was talking about at the start that you can get at both Home Depot and Lowe's. And at Lowe's, this round is meant to do Lazy Susans. It's back with the wood. And when you're doing construction, they use these for different things that they need in construction. So it was unfinished. It was around $8. I don't know what the dimensions are, but let's find that out because somebody's gonna ask for sure. It's around 18 inches around. I stained it like the other one, like this one. I stained it a little bit darker, and I used white chalk paste. And that Mandela lace stencil is so awesome. I have not used it in a while. I don't know why, but it's a great stencil. Anyway, so I used white chalk paste, and then these were some super inexpensive handles that I put on here that came from the hardware store. I think they came from Home Depot. And I did the little wheel, just one level of wheel legs. I can see that this one's lost its little teeny felt pad. I'll have to find a teeny one. But it elevates it just a little bit, and these are the same as this. So there's just so many different things that you can do. And I made this whole piece for under $10, I'm sure. And it's fabulous. And there's no way you could buy a big round tray this size with this beautiful design on it and the little feet for $10. So keep that in mind. There's tons of different things that you can do. The only limit, really, is your imagination, because you can use almost anything to create feet and legs. And if you're frugal like me, then I don't want to spend $4 or $5 on my round and then spend $20 on feet and legs. You know, I want it to be super affordable, the whole thing. I don't want to blow my budget on this. And those look pretty cute, don't you think? So let's see, I wanted to show you a couple other things real quick. This week I showed you the July 2022 Magnolia Design Company Craft Club project. We made these adorable wooden spoons, and a ton of you guys told me that I put my stencils on the wrong way. Okay, you thought I should have put them this way so I could hang them, and that's a possibility for sure. You can do that, but all along I had planned to put them in a crock, or this is just from Goodwill. It's a some kind of a mason jar that has this cute little bumpy front to it. And I glued a little bit of this brown and polka dot ribbon around the tummy, and it's adorable. So for all of you that have told me over and over and over that I did it the wrong way, you can do it both ways. This is just how I decided to do it. Look at this cute little cupcake. If you haven't joined my craft club yet, you should, because it's awesome. The other thing I wanted to show you real quick were these were from yesterday from Christ and Crafting. These are the praise beads that we made using gold, silver, and copper leaf. And these are crosses, little wood crosses from DollarTree. So if you missed that video, just click on the videos tab here and you can scroll down and watch it. I think they turned out pretty cute. I hung the gold one in my family room, and I will get pictures of that. But I just wanted to show you these other little things. If you decide to make an elevated riser, I'd love to see pictures. And if you come up with a super creative and super affordable idea for legs and feet, I'd love to know what that is. I feel like I've used just about every possible thing to do it. But anyways, Jenny says she always enjoys my stories. Yeah, I do have a tendency to sometimes get off on a tangent. Sorry about that. So let me know in the comments if you want a link to any of these awesome stencils. Like this is the Mandela lace that's on these. And you can use these 20, 30, 40, 50 times. They look pretty cruddy after a while, but here's my most favorite. There's a whole bunch. If you want a link just to go look and see what the different all over pattern stencils are that are available, say link or say supply list or something like that, and I'd be glad to get it for you. If you want a link to join my craft club, you can say that too. Thank you so much to everyone who did stars. I so appreciate that. Thank you so much to everyone who sprinkled. I really appreciate that too. And I hope that I have inspired you that you can make these elevated risers very easily and very affordably, and they can be totally unique to you. So that's what I wanted to show you. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Don't hesitate to ask questions in the comments. Let me know if you want a link, a supply list, sprinkle, check to see if you've liked and followed this page, all that normal good stuff. All right, see you guys later.